This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the best online retailer for Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 source for Magic the Gathering news and content.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources, and we're doing yet another draft this week for our friends at GatheringMagic.com. We've opened a nice one here with Hero of Iroas. There's also Bile-Blight, which I think is worth considering. Both of these are two of the stronger cards in the set. Bolt of Keranos also worth a nod. The Hero is sort of the easy choice here. Bile-Blight feels like a little bit like I won't fight as much, but Hero is quite strong, so we'll just take it. I definitely like Fate Unraveler a lot just as a magic card. I think I'm just going to take it here. A second Bolt is absolutely worth considering as well. Skirmisher, Sun Guide, those are always hand in hand. They were in the last pack too. But I think Fate Unraveler is good enough that I'll take it here. Servant of Tymaret. There's a Thunderbrute if we were red, which is pretty decent. I think I can just take a Servant here, though, and kind of keep moving forward with what might end up being a white-black deck. Maybe we veer off from white, or I don't know. It kind of depends on where things go from here. Swordwise Centaur. There's also a Vortex Elemental. Doesn't seem to be much for us. Claim of Erebos, Fellhide Brawler, Eye Gouge are all lame. Griffin Dreamfinder, that's also an option here, though. Maybe we just end up being that kind of a deck. Yeah, I'll take the Dreamfinder here, and because this white blacklist is actually one that I like quite a bit. I've written about it, and I play it a lot. I'll take a second Servant over Astral Cornucopia. I think it's a fine card, but Servant's very, very serviceable in a deck like this. If we end up playing Hero of Iroas just for value, that's fine. I mean, the ideal deck that it goes in is probably blue-white, where you can really abuse it. Red-white can take solid advantage of it as well, but I think that blue-white's probably its optimal living space. I'll take the Astral Cornucopia here, and we get a little bit bricked here as there's nothing really in black-white for us. There's some good blue cards left over, though, and that's, I think, worth looking at. I'll take this Chorus of the Tides and see if things move over for us. Here's another Griffin Dreamfinder. I'll take it. Sun Guide, sure. That Brute came back. Not a super strong signal, but it's worth noting. We'll take it. Transformation or War Chanter, neither of them generally make the cut. I suppose Transformation's a little bit better, especially because we have Griffin Dreamfinder, so if our creature were to die, we can get that back. Yeah, blue looks to be the most open color, but nothing really strong either way about the other colors. Our black is somewhat mediocre. 2 Servants and a Fate Unraveler's okay. I mean, we did ship away a very good black card, so if we're going to get more black, it'll probably come in the 3rd pack as opposed to the 2nd. All right, let's see where this goes as we enter our 2nd pack. Again, looking for white cards, but I think I'm going to stay fairly open. Ooh. Thassa. Huh. Thassa, you say. Well, there's a Phalanx leader that I wouldn't mind, although not really doing much with here, but I'm going to take Thassa. She's worth a bunch of tickets, and maybe we even play her. I mean, our white still isn't super great. We can also just splash her off of Astral Cornucopia. She is one of the gods that's actually not unreasonable to just splash. Also, maybe we're just blue. Like, here's a Voyage's End. I'm going to take that. That one's definitely splashable. Sentry of the Underworld is a card I would take for the black-white list. So we could be white-black splash blue, potentially. We could be blue-black splash white. I'll take the Sentry either way. I think we want it. Starting to get pushed around a little bit about what color we actually are here. Double Dreamfinder with Hero and Oresco Sun Guide is pretty good. I think it's just that Prescient Chimera is probably the best card here. Otherwise, we could take Return Phalanx or Burnished Heart. Burnished Heart has been overperforming a bit for me lately. I find that it really does. I call it Robo Elmer. But yeah, he gets some pretty good value going if you want to play multiple colors. But I think that maybe I'll just take a Return Phalanx, because the problem is these aren't very good. Like, blacks actually are. Maybe we're blue-white with a little bit of black for like this thing. I'll take this Chimera and see if we can make that work. Well, that kind of these both change things. These really both go well in this deck because you can dig back either of these. I'm going to take the Baleful Eidolon here, I think, and try to just D up a bit. Hopeful Eidolon? Yes. All right, finally we find nothing. I'll take a Ray. I'm just going to take the best card out of every one of these things, and then we'll figure out afterwards where we're actually at. Remember, I've also got this Sunbond here. Right now we have Hopeful Eidolon, Aresco's Sun Guide, Battle Priest, and then these. We might be able to just go off. That would be kind of sick. Colossus or a Fellhide Minotaur. We're pretty controlling. We could actually just be a Colossus deck. I'll take it just in case. I don't think we're giving up a ton there. If we're going to grind, let's grind, right? So are we blue? I think we're just splashing blue for Voyage's End right now. Thassa's tempting, but we're never going to make her into a creature. So are we happy with just unblockable and scry every turn? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. But I think that we can probably do this and kind of take a look at what we've got. Because I like this deck. Am I really going to play this Sunbond? I don't think I am, but I might. All right. So we've opened just the nut pack. Chain of the Rocks doesn't do anything, but Dark Betrayal, Tormented Hero, Emissary, Scholar, Divine Verdict, Sip, Read the Bones, and somewhat Last Breath. These all make the cut for the deck. So what can we not live without? Probably Scholar. Even though it's the most likely to wheel out of like the premium cards here, like basically out of this and this, it's also just the most important card. I'm going to take it here and hope to wheel something sweet out of that pack. Wow, another one? I like that better than Gray Merchant here. I'm just going to take another Scholar. I just think it's I just do think it's the best card in the deck. Don't think we'll need this with double Dreamfinder. I don't know if this is going to happen. Whenever you gain a life, like every time Servant untaps, we get to put counters on the thing. Whenever we activate Scholar, we get to put counters on the thing. Starts to get out of hand. We can even play Laganaban Elder and then still Sunbond gets value. I don't know. It's probably still unplayable and bad though. I'll take an Amulet, especially in case we find like one Grip Tide or something else to splash. I like having one Amulet, one Astral Cornucopia, and like an island. We can splash Voyage's End, and then maybe if we pick up something else. Divine Verdict or Wingsteed Rider. We could also take a Sip. We need the removal, but Wingsteed Rider is a tough one to pass, being just such a powerful card. Maybe just take the Sip or the Divine Verdict. I think I'll just take a Verdict here, actually. I don't know. What are we wheeling out of this pack? There's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 4 cards coming back. They're going to be like Plains, Bronze Sable, Aqueous Form, Silent Artisan. There is a slight possibility that one of these good cards actually comes back to us and we can take the Wingsteed Rider. I still think I just want the removal though. I'm just going to take the Verdict. I hate passing Wingsteeds, don't get me wrong, but look, we got to play to the deck here, not to whatever our favorite card is. I just want removal, and these decks are controlling grindy decks. I mean, look, if we're going to run this guy. Sure. Probably not running this, though. Snarecaster's not very good in a deck like this. I guess I'll take the Unicorn. All right, so we get Read the Bones here. That's a great pickup for us. Whoops. Whatever, you guys know what this deck looks like. But remember, we have that one thing. Oh, whatever. But yeah, I think that we pretty much have the white-black deck that I've been talking about lately. Glare for the board. I think it's probably better than the Snarecaster. It just doesn't do what we want to do in this deck. We're not looking to beat down very often. Probably don't need that. Yeah, we got Grind on the Mind. Silent Artisan? Oh yeah, so this is what came back. So I'll take this boon. Warden, that's a fine sideboard card. I don't think we're going to start it, though. Well, we're certainly shields upping here. There's no doubt about that. Well, that was weird. It kind of scared me. Okay. Eidolon, Battle Priest, Sun Guide's a maybe. We're not really abusing this guy, but he's still good enough to start. Ray of Dissolution is probably worth starting as well. These are maybes. You're in, you're in, you're in. Yeah, this is just the grindiest. If these Grizzly transformations were just like 1 mana cheaper, like if they were Scourge Marks, I'd be so much happier. This is probably a 17-land Traveler's Amulet build. I could run the Unicorn. I could run Last Breath. I could run Sun Guide. It's going to be hard to make Sun Guide attack very often. Sunbond is funny in this deck. We have so many ways to gain life. We can kind of just go off. But I don't think we really want to do it. I could also just run 18 lands. We have so much to do with our mana, especially up at the top here. 18 land Amulet, that seems fine to me, actually. So Last Breath? Return Centaur, maybe? A random Grizzly transformation? I mean, Sunbond, we could try it out. It does make something just absolutely ridiculously powerful. You know, we could put it on this thing or something like that eventually, but I just feel like it's so clunky. I don't know why it costs 4. Maybe I just want the Unicorn. I wonder if I just want a Thassa's Bounty in here too. Probably not. I mean, I've already got to read the bones. I could take a March of the Returned. That way I can block pretty aggressively and still have ways to get my stuff back. I mean, I'm thinking about Griffin Dreamfinder, but it really only gets back a few of our actual creatures. It can get back some other stuff, but maybe I just want to March of the Return for value. Because at some point you sometimes have to block with your Scholars, and then they use a combat trick and kill them, and then like your long game's kind of shot. But if you have March of the Return, you can buy them back after you've stabilized and go off. Maybe this is our deck like that. So 18 lands plus an Amulet. I think I like that. And this thing looks a little skewed here. Our black mana is mercifully easy to do, though. And we're going to need a couple of them to make sure our Scholars are pumped up in the late game, but I think this will do it. All right, I think I like this deck. I think I like it a lot. We'll see. Let's see what it does.